All right, so we are going to do our team meeting for Butterfly Kisses. We are in February 2023. Let's see, Aunt Tam, can you mute, please? There you go, perfect. So we're going to go over a couple things. We're going to start with the fact that you might be seeing a bunch of people putting out emails right now that they have gotten saying they've earned incentive, they've earned a trip, etc. Because our fall incentive just ended and our audits were just completed by Scentsy for people who hit level 1, 2, and 3. So where they're going and what they've earned. I can say that I earned level 1, Shauna hit level 2, Bree hit level 1. Someone shake their head yes for me. Okay, cool. And we had Heather hit level 1. And I feel like I'm missing one person. And Katrina's, yep, see? She's looking up for me. So what level 1 was, you had to hit a cumulative amount of points. And it was in, if you go in your workstation and go to incentive, there's a tab for incentive. You can see what the points are, what the breakdown is, what we're earning, how to earn points. It was me. See, I'm so proud of myself. I did hit everybody. My memory does work every now and then. So thank you for checking that, Katrina. So what I did was I earned SFR. I earned the registration for SFR, which is North Carolina this year. And that will be opening up soon. They told us in our email, but I don't know if we're allowed to say it yet. I know it's in March. Okay, we can. So March 13th, we know that it's opening up for registration for SFR. Last year it was free. No, it was registration cost. It's around $300 for registration. But they always do a fall incentive for usually a trip somewhere. I've earned all 3 since I've joined in the fall. The first year was Disney. I don't remember where last year was. Last year was Alaska, but I earned level 1, so I got SFR free for myself, and I had a director consistency, so I got Chris for free as well for registration. And then this year I earned Utah registration, or not Utah, North Carolina registration. So that will be one less thing that I don't have to pay for, even though it is a business write-off when you do use it. We have a new incentive that started in January. They just announced it recently. And the spring incentive is about growth and focus. So for those that have heard me so far this year, my word is focus this year, which is super hard being someone who is very ADHD and is not medicated for it. So this round, I'm verifying my wording before I say it, and I should have done this before, but I did, and I forgot it because I was so excited for this meeting to go over this incentive.
What do you need help with? I can help you.
The exact words of focus on growth, is that what it's called? Like the incentive, it's the name of it.
Find your focus.
Oh, find your focus. See? Yeah, see, I knew it was the word focus.
And the first one is find your focus team, right? Or is it focus on your team?
Find your focus on your team. So the qualifying period is January 1st through July 31st. And you have to promote to you have to have someone promote to certified between February 1st through July 31st. So they can join January 1st and then have to promote between February 1st and July 31st. Now, this is a 3-part incentive thing. So what that means is that there's 3 different qualifying periods, 3 different qualifying things you can hit. Guess what? If you don't get the first one, you are still eligible for 2. You are still eligible for 3. You don't get the second one, and you get the first one. It's a mix and match, so to speak. You can earn up to all 3, and you can earn as little as 0. It's whatever works best for you, your business, and how to grow it. So the incentive is, what you're getting on top of that is with growing your team, the Scentsy duffel bag. It's white. It's super cute. It holds a lot of stuff. What you need to do is get 2 teamies, if I remember correctly. I'm verifying yet again. Pardon me, 2 teamies to certified from February 1st to July 31st. And that's how you would earn that duffel bag. We do not know what part 2 and part 3 are yet. Like, we don't even know as star directors what it is yet. They haven't announced it to anybody. And there also is a grand prize that they have that they just announced as well. Sorry, my phone is like being super not cooperative with the incentive and discussing it. I give up. So with that, there's a new feature that any of you leaders, I think it's any leaders, but Shonda or Heather, Shonda should be able to see it. Heather will have to correct me if I'm wrong. We, as star directors, could not see anybody. Like, I was texting Bree and Devin, and I'm so sorry now, because you were my downline. I couldn't see your points before. They just gave us permission to now see anyone in our group, their points. So I'm not harassing you every day, every few hours, like, which point's at? So that I can shout you out, because it makes me so excited to shout you guys out. Like, love language wise, Katrina's this gift. She's gonna send you all the gifts. Love language wise for me is words of affirmation. If I write something, I type something up, it's something I genuinely mean. I'm terrible with my words, but like, it comes with pure attention. Like, I love using my words to tell people how I feel. So that being said, between the two of us, you get the best, I think. Gifts and words. So that's the incentive coming up that is currently in effect for spring, and that's how we just earned the incentive. For a few of us earned the incentive for registration for it was in the fall. It just ended on the 31st of January. Sorry. Every time there's a new incentive, we're like, hey, who wants to earn this? And we're happy to break down points with you. Always. Myself, Katrina, Shonda, I think I can speak for you when you say that. Any leader, any director, we're 100% behind you. Let's go. Let us help you. We want to help. Yes. See, Shonda says yes. I am sometimes. I'm competitive though. I'm not a participation trophy person either, but I'm competitive. So like, that side of me comes out when I'm like, you did this, like, do not downplay it. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. There's no such thing as too much recognition.
Yep.
I just like, I feel like if you like, literally, if I'm trying to think who's the
if I shout you out
furthest away from me on this call, I think would probably be Bree and Devin, right?
Devin's in New York, like northern Canada, New York.
No,
like
not distance.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad Devin got it. You got it. Okay. So like that, like Devin, okay, for example. He earns the incentive. Sean is going to shout him out because that's his sponsor. That's his director. You're going to shout him out because you're his star director. I'm going to shout him out because I'm his upline star director. Whitney's going to shout him out because she's his SSD. And honestly, if Chloe knows about it, she'll probably shout you out too because she's your upline SSD. Like, and then on top of it, you're going to shout yourself out too, because it's something to celebrate. I am a huge, I know I say my love language is gifts, but honestly, my love language is probably recognition.
Words of affirmation.
No, I don't know about that. But not in like the participation trophy, like where no one on the call is this low. So but it's recorded, so I guess I'll just be the bad guy for saying it. Like, we're not like saying congratulations to the people. I'm not saying that like the people that have 50 points from the last incentive are going to get like a postcard from me or something. Like, you're going to get huge recognition because you earned level 1, 2, or 3, 100%. If you didn't earn the incentive, then like, good luck better luck next time type thing. I don't know. That makes me sound really mean, but you know what I mean.
No, everyone's here to help you. Like,
Yes.
If you're like, I want this trip, I want this location, I want this, you will like, okay, let's make a plan. We'll sit down, make a plan together. And I guarantee Shauna will do it. I guarantee Heather will do it. I guarantee Bree would do it, Devin, like, and we would even do it like 3 or 4 of us on a call if like for some reason, like we're like, or you could try this, or you could like giving you different options. Like I got a lot of my points from sponsoring points. And I only needed a certain amount and I didn't need as much as I got, but it counts towards my points. So that's the incentive that just happened. That's the incentive that we just earned, and that we currently have going on now. And as long as I've joined, and Katrina, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's always been a spring and a fall incentive. Yes? Yeah. So since I've joined, that's it. And
The fall incentive is always the big trip. The spring incentive is always the smaller one. This 3-part thing just started last spring.
last year. Yep.
Yeah. So, but before then, the spring incentive was always smaller, more attainable, I guess you would say, like to a newer consultant, maybe not more attainable, but less intimidating, I think is a better word for that.
I also think it's less confusing. Like this is like
Yeah.
2 certified consultants, this is our timeline, compared to hit 2,300 points for level 1.
But I will tell you, this is home office listened to consultants because consultants asked and begged for, hey, can we have smaller incentives that, more people can reach? And even if it's for something like a Scentsy tumbler or something, and like they listened and they tried it last year and it was a huge success. And I love that they continued to do it this year because everybody loves like like what I agree with what Nikki said in the beginning of this. She said that whichever one you want to go for. If you might be a certified and not have any desire to grow a team, we're not going to push you to sponsor if you don't want to sponsor. That's not fair to you, and that's not fair to someone who would sign up under you. We are going to guide you in the direction of possibly taking a non-leadership role. And all that is, by the way, non-leadership role, is they just take the join button off of your PWS. That's it. So no one can join under you, like even like by surprise. That's literally it for that. And you can always call them and say, okay, I'm ready to be a leader now, and they put it back. Like it's that easy. Like no one will judge you for that. So
you can't call them, though. You have to email them.
Yeah, sorry, email, yeah, account services at Scentsy.com. But if you have no desire to grow a team, me and Nikki are not going to push you and go, well, but you really should earn this incentive. This focus on your team. Like that's what the incentive is. You should go for it. Like, no, that's not the type of leaders that we are. And we want to support you where you are at and where you want your business to go. And if your business is just a hobby right now, then that's what it is. They're always going to have,
but that's okay. Like
yep.
we need everybody in our teams. Like I think of that in hospital settings, I need full-time people, I need part-time people, I need per diem people, because that's how a whole system works.
And Scentsy designs these incentives to help you grow, to help your business grow. But if you're not wanting to grow in that area, that's okay. Like don't let anybody make you feel bad for not wanting to do that, because I promise you there's probably going to be look at the last spring, there was one for sponsoring, there was one for just PRV, and then there was one for club. Now we don't know what the other 2 portions are like, but it's safe to say that they might be probably similar.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, one of them's got to be PRV based because they've already said that with the most PRV top 50 like gets a different prize. So one of them is going to be just sales based. We know that. I mean, everyone knows that just from reading the top 50 like requirement. So, if sponsoring is just not your thing right now, that you're not comfortable with, you're not confident in, that's fine. But you're confident in sales, or you are building your confidence in sales, that's the incentive that we're going to help you get towards. Sorry.
All right. So one of the questions I asked recently, though, on the team page, and I know Bree replied, I know Kaylee replied, and one other, and I'm so sorry. I think it was maybe Heather, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was Tammy. replied, and I said, "What's your biggest struggle in your business?" And one of the answers had was getting parties. And that came from Kaylee. And I had a one-to-one chat with her and said, "Hey, what are you doing? What's working, what's not working?" We had a conversation. I gave her some of the tools that I've used. And I said, "But I need you to try to do like what works for you. Show me that like what you have going on right now so we can see if we change a couple things, this will work." Um, she did um, she did what I asked. She made her own tools. We made a list together, and she had 6 parties that she got out of, I think, a list of like 30. Like that, those numbers are high, first of all. So if you get a no out of like 1 out of 30, it's okay. Like 1 out of 7 people usually say yes, but because it's not always the typical conversation. Another one I saw on Bree was time, 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 and I think she said it 3 times. Um, I have struggled with this one as well. So I've been trying to figure out how I was going to approach it. Is that I've been trying to figure out what 5 minutes do I have here? Literally a 5-minute timer right now. What 10 minutes do I have here? I know that I have 20 minutes here. And guys, like that's rare for me. See, times 3 times. 20 minutes right now is rare for me as a time bubble. Because of how busy I am with between all my extracurriculars for my kids, my extra volunteer items, my work schedule, and doing my business as well. Doing those extra things has been a little more challenging for me the last 3 months, to be honest. And I'm literally having to put a 5-minute timer on. So, like, I made a list earlier with Katrina. We just were chatting back and forth because Katrina's my sponsor as well. She might be your Upline Star Director. It's because she's my sponsor and my director and my star director. And she goes, "I'm working on the discontinued list." I'm like, crap, I meant to do that 2 weeks ago. I didn't do it. We worked on verbiage, we looked at it, and then literally I was able to get 3 emails out in a 5-minute bubble because I was able to pull it, and it takes a little while to pull. Give your workstation grace. And then once I exported it into Excel, I got 3 of those emails out. And then I'm going to set a timer later tonight, and I'll get another 10 minutes, and I'll get 3 more emails out, or 6 or whatever it may be. But even if that results in 1 sale, 1 reconnect with a customer, 1 checking and letting them know that spring summer is coming, and that is their jam because I'm a spring summer girl through and through. Like that's 1 easier party order, discounted order because it's we have 10 to 30% off on our website right now. That is an option for you. So literally, like, yes, 30 minutes today. Make a list. Like, I know this is gonna look really bad. I didn't have time to make a list somewhere when I was sitting down the other day on a meeting. I made a list on the back of if you're a mom, you've done this. You've gotten a bill, you're opening the mail, and you're trying to multitask, and you make a list on the back of the envelope. This is my list for Scentsy. You can see the ones that are crossed out, ones that are not crossed out. This is a real thing. It's okay. Make a list with what you have, where you are at that moment, because then you have it on 1 piece of paper that you can be like, so there is a Post-it. There is a Post-it in my purse. Hold on. Legitimately, I'm going to prove, because I noticed my Post-it systems, and I'm actually going to talk about that at World Tour. So there's my list that we made today. But like, that's how my systems work, though. It's because I put it on a Post-it. I know exactly where that. She just said, "I'm surprised it's not a Post-it." I knew where that Post-it was because that's how my systems work in my brain. Yeah. There's the envelope problem. Okay. So that being said, though, like that system works for me. Is it gonna work for Shonda? Maybe. Maybe not. It's gonna vary per everyone. Is it gonna work with Devin, who's literally half my age? And whatnot. Maybe, maybe not. He's a whole different generation. Is it going to work for Aunt Tammy, who's she's gonna come like double my age? But maybe, maybe not. Yet again, it's all about like what works for you, like making a list together with anybody, your accountability partner, your sponsor, your upline, like your downline. Like there's so many people on our team page, other team pages that you can grab and say, hey, like I also use Keep Notes on my phone. This beautiful app I learned about at SFR from Angie Dalton, and like have my life like figured out. Oh, it's not going to focus, but maybe. No, it's not going to work. But like I have so many different options. I have flowers of who orders on things, what I have to do on my first day of the month every month, what people who are interested in joining, it's right here on my phone. So I have it all saved, ready to go. So literally, my point of that was like Bree's thing was time. 5 minutes. If you're like, I have 10 minutes, I have 5 minutes, set a timer and then respect your family. Respect your family to go back to them and do what you were needing to do and be a part of, like, don't miss your kids' things because you have so much to do in your life on your Scentsy plate, so to speak. So I want to say that respectfully as like a mom of 4. Like that is something I really strongly push. Don't take away from those experiences that you only get once with your kids. So I wish I was organized. I wished I was organized, Sarah. I really wish I was. So the last thing I want to close out with, which has nothing to do with anything, but I want to try to close, like I like to do a little bit of interaction, and it's not like popcorn or anything. I want to know, I want you to answer 2 questions, but I want you to answer them not only about Scentsy, but I want you to answer them about your personal life too. And I want you to write down, what am I grateful for? Scentsy and not Scentsy. And then I also want to know, where do I need help? Scentsy or non-Scentsy? And I say that because sometimes we need someone that we can vent to, and it might become a Scentsy sister or mister that it's not even related to with Scentsy. I have found that in several of my accountability partners that I can do that now because we've created that relationship that I can be like, I've had this day, I really need to vent about PTO. You know what I mean? I really need to vent about my job outside of Scentsy. But where do I need help? I need time to think about what's next. What's on my next plan? What do I have to do? My list, like, here's my Scentsy list. I need help. I needed help figuring out my discontinued report to remember that I needed to do that. I needed to, Katrina and I discussed earlier, the coming back report, like that 7 months ago, who did I party with when the catalog started? I needed to remember to edit my project broadcast coming up. I needed to remember to get Happy Mail ready for the next month. And these are little things that like I could vent, like this is everything going in my life. And she's like, okay, what are we doing with Scentsy? And where can I help you? Because even if I need to vent and it has nothing to do with Scentsy, she can always help me bring it back and say, okay, let's figure this out first, because if you can't focus on this, you can't do Scentsy because you won't be able to focus on it. So it's knowing that mental health and knowing where your boundaries are and knowing that it's okay to ask for help no matter if it's Scentsy or not Scentsy related. So if anyone wants to share, I'm happy to stop the recording because those are very personal things. So I'm gonna stop the recording and give me 1 sec.